Went in seeking help, yet came out with only questions.
The medical system, the rude awakening, the irony in it all. When I first ended up at the ER due to the medical scare, I told these guys everything that I was taking, the SARMs, the testosterone, the peptides. They wrote it down. They acted like they knew exactly what I was talking about. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the whole point was that they completely downplayed it. You see, there's three main things that I want you guys to know about my experience with the medical system. Number one, the ER. Definitely when you have a medical scare, go to the ER. You just want to rule out the major things, especially if you have a heart attack-like event, a stroke, aneurysm, anything like that. And that's exactly why I went. I'm like most of you guys. Unless you absolutely have to go, I will not end up there, right? Because we already know what we're going to go ahead and deal with, the whole process. Nobody wants to do it. But I ended up there. And so as soon as I was there, they asked me everything that I was taking. And immediately they told me, like, no, we don't think that was the main cause of this episode. And so at that point, I'm just lost. And the worst thing about that experience at the ER was when I'm literally in the bed, these guys are drawing out blood. The doctor, he smiles at me and he asks me, was it worth taking all of those drugs? And he just laughed. At that moment, I wanted to get up and I wanted to fuck that guy up. I really, really did. Just when you think that the medical system is there to help you, protect you, guide you, create a plan for you when you're at your lowest, they literally just kick you when you're fucking down. That was my experience at the ER. At that moment, I knew I was fucked. I really did. They did all these tests, and at the end of the day, they let me go. There was no signs of anything. No stroke, no TIA, no seizures, no aneurysms, nothing, which is great news, but they literally left me back at square one. The anxiety was through the roof. The panic attacks were through the roof. I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know how to go from there. They didn't guide me. So then the real journey began. Number two was actually dealing with my insurance and the medical system to find a primary care physician and a specialist. It took months. I'm not exaggerating, guys. It took months to find a primary care physician that was taking new patients. Then it took months to actually get seen and set up for an appointment, only to go in there. And as soon as he read my file and my medical history, and I went in there, he told me that he only practiced family medicine. This was beyond his scope, beyond his understanding. He couldn't help me, so he had to refer me over to a neurologist. At that point, I was back to square one yet again. I'm just like, holy fuck, what's gonna, like, where are we going from here? I was lost and there was no help. So now it took another month to get referred over to the neurologist. Then I go see him, and all he does is just more tests, doesn't give me guidance about anything, or he doesn't really explain himself at all. He's just telling me, hey, we just need to do these tests, and then we'll go from there. Not to mention, it took weeks to set up an MRI. It took weeks to set up an echocardiogram, like ultrasound for the heart, or to do extensive blood work. It took an entire month and a half after that. So it's an extremely long waiting process. And throughout all this time, I'm paying deductibles left and right. Then I'm also paying the insurance for all of these tests, the MRIs, over $500, the blood work, a couple $100, and it's all adding up. Not to mention the out-of-pocket costs of thousands of dollars of going to the ER. Number three, when you actually go in and you talk to these specialists and you tell them everything that you're taking, you have to explain yourself over and over and over again. It seems like you're literally just in a loop. Like, these guys don't understand what you're going through in terms of the drugs that you're taking. They just don't. And maybe it wasn't something that they studied. It's maybe something that they don't deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's maybe a small fraction percentile of people that they deal with, like bodybuilders, powerlifters, things of that sort, because they just have no clue. You talk to them about, hey, should I take some Clomid for PCT? Should I take some enclomiphene, some HCG? Should I take, some AIs, anything like that? They have no fucking clue what you're talking about. They're like, no, just don't take anything. And you're telling them everything that you're going through, your libido's crashing, your anxiety, your mental fog, and to get the blood work approved by the insurance and the medical system, oh boy, you have no idea like how many times I had to have my doctor actually appeal these guys' response to deny me getting coverage for testosterone, free testosterone, SHBG, and all that stuff. It was just an extremely long, strenuous process that took months and months and months, and thousands of dollars out of my pocket. Now, I'm only telling you all of this not to scare you, not at all, but only to give you my experience of what I went through as someone that dealt with SARMs and steroids and PEDs and peptides and all that stuff. Because your insurance, hopefully you have better insurance than I do, but your insurance, these guys are not there to help you. They're not there to give you all the coverage that's going to help you out when you really need it. Not at all. The fact that it took so many appeals from my doctor to actually get some coverage to test my testosterone and my SHBG and all the biomarkers that I needed, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was such a rude awakening that I dealt with throughout the ER, to the specialists, to the referrals, to all the money that I wasted. Now, if you guys are going through anything like that, I would love to hear about your story. Even if it's not exactly the same, tell me, guys, what's your experience been like if you've ever ended up at the ER due to any type of health scare, or let me know how your blood work coverage is with your actual insurance. If you're doing anything for your testosterone or your SHBG or your FSH or any of that stuff, let me know. I would love to hear it. Maybe my experience was unique, I don't know, but let me know, guys, because I'm trying to get as much information as I can out there to you guys, because the medical system is not here to help us out, especially when you go through something like I went through.